So here's the GoPro. Don't let appearances deceive you. It may be small, but there's a lot of sophisticated tech inside this camera. First off, it allows you to film high definition footage from 720p all the way up to 4K. Now the key point here is that it allows you to record at these resolutions that are in HD, but you can film them in high frame rates. An example is if you film at 1080p, you can film that at 60 frames per second. And what that means to you is that you can film buttery smooth slow motion. Okay, as you move up to higher resolutions like 2.7K, that frame rate is going to drop, so you won't be able to get a smooth slow motion, but still usable. Okay, usable means about 24 frames per second is still usable, and that's the same frame rate they use for films. The second is that this camera is really small, and because of that you can take it to a lot of different places, and it can fit in places that a SLR camera can't. You'll see later on we can do aerial footage and attach the camera to a drone, and because the camera is small enough, the drone can lift the weight of the camera. Also, it's very versatile and durable. There's a lot of different attachments for this camera, and those attachments allow you to film really good footage underwater or on cars. You're really only limited by your imagination and the attachments that you have for the GoPro. I think that the GoPro democratizes the ability to film great footage because it takes a lot of the complexity out of getting the right settings to start filming. Right? Once you got the right settings, it's as easy as just pushing the button, keeping the camera stable, and making sure you've got good lighting.
Welcome to the course. In this lesson, we're going to talk about what came with your GoPro, what's included. Now keep in mind that there are different editions of the GoPro 4 Black, and some editions include different parts, but you're definitely going to have your GoPro 4. You want to make sure that you have a mini SD card to begin with, because without it you can't film anything. So the mini SD card plugs into the side of your GoPro. But if you want to use it in your laptop or your computer, you're going to need that larger adapter that the mini SD card will go into. So we're going to talk a bit more about memory cards in a later section, but just keep in mind that it's important to get this card before you start. The battery door on the GoPro is at the bottom as opposed to the back in GoPro 3. And the battery is different from the GoPro 3, so unfortunately you can't use your GoPro 3 batteries. On the back of the GoPro 4 Black, there's no screen, unlike the silver edition, but don't worry because there's wireless in the GoPro that you can use to connect to your app on your smartphone to control it and frame the shot. Now the GoPro comes with a lot of different bits and parts and bolts that you may not always need. So I'm going to cover some of the main mounts that you're going to need to film great footage, and one of my favorites is the suction cup mount. So we're definitely going to provide good coverage of that. Other mounts we're going to cover are the head strap, the chest strap mount, as well as the tripod mount. In the GoPro 4, you may have a power wall adapter, and this is useful because it usually charges faster than if you use the USB wire to charge up your GoPro from your laptop or your computer. And this frees up a USB port on your laptop, which some of the newer laptops are giving you fewer of these days, so that's why it's important. The exoskeleton case that comes with the GoPro is waterproof, similar to the GoPro 3 case, but a bit smaller, but the adapter at the bottom fits with the older mounts. We'll talk more about mounts during the mount section.
To summarize the benefits of the GoPro, it's easy to use, it's really popular. There's some other action cameras out there, but I believe the GoPro is the most popular, which means that there's a lot of support for the camera. You can get it at Best Buy. There's a lot of people putting helpful videos and tips all over the internet because of that. And third-party companies provide products for the GoPro as well. The GoPro is also very small, so it's very light to travel with you, and you can fit it in a lot of places and take it with you a lot of places that you can't with an SLR. The GoPro is a good quality product. It's well built. It's relatively low cost. For about $400, give or take, you can get a camera that can give you a lot. You can take this camera underwater or in the air. It's very versatile, and there's the high resolution rates that you can film with this camera and the high frame rates that you can film at those resolutions that make this camera a really good choice if you want to film action footage, travel footage, unlimited possibilities. There are some cons to using the GoPro, but the good news is that the pros outweigh the cons. The first con is that the GoPro uses a fixed lens. It's a wide fisheye lens, which is really versatile, but you can't get that up-close detail that you could if you were using a lens with more length. And you can't swap out lenses with the GoPro, but you can zoom with your legs. The second is that the sound on the GoPro isn't that great, and the GoPro, well, the newer models can film in lower light. The video footage in lower light becomes really grainy and noisy, so it's best used in the daytime or if you have lots of light. Now, the GoPro doesn't have very good battery life, and I recommend getting more than one battery to deal with that, or a portable charger. So there you have it. There are some of the cons of the GoPro, but there are workarounds to complement the GoPro's weaknesses.
No, no, no.